What's up, everyone? We're here with the upper bracket finals of the Gosu Pro Power Rankings. Got Rocker versus Kozan. I'm here with Lyra. What's up, Lyra?
What's up?
I believe this is a best of 5. Actually, don't know. Pretty sure it's best of 5. But in the bottom right-hand corner from Team Gosu, it's the green Terran player, Kozan.
In the top left, the blue Protoss, it's Rocker.
Yeah, this bracket was kind of crazy. I feel like Prototype and Scrubble screwed it all up by playing too well.
Do you have a link to the bracket?
Do. Kind of. I have a Discord link to the bracket. Alright, I think that'll work. Send it to you on Discord. I'll might as well put it up on stream, I guess.
Okay, so Rocker has just beaten Maples and Kozan has just beaten Prototype to make it here. So neither of them have practiced like this matchup recently. Like in terms of a tournament performance at least.
Yeah.
So Kozan did very well in the last power ranking tournament. I'm not at all surprised to see him up here. Rocker had kind of fallen off a bit in terms of performance, but looks like he's back in shape, back in action.
No scout from Rocker. I wonder if does Kozan ever cheese?
I'm sure he does, but he's definitely known for straight up macro play. I mean, we see the 2 gas opening this game, but since he's pulling off gas, I'm not expecting anything cheesy from him. You know, I wouldn't call it like standard, but it's like in terms of off meta openings, as close as you can get to standard.
Yeah. Alright, we'll Stalker first for Rocker. Should be out in time for the Reaper.
Yeah, it's annoying though when you have the Stalker versus the Reaper. The Stalker can't actually catch the Reaper the way the Adept can.
Yeah. But as long as you... I mean, it's gonna get the scout anyway, as long as it doesn't kill any probes. Kozan CCing on the high ground. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in GSL level, when they do this build, they CC low ground, but I think the high ground CC is fine. Sometimes it can get annoying if they just ignore your Reaper and walk past.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
last
so
game.
yeah. We see kind of the point of this opening from Kozan. If he gets cheesed, he can react to it a little easier because he has a faster factory. If he's fighting standard like Rocker, it's just a faster Widowmine drop. And choosing a build that makes you safer as cheese is definitely a good choice for his Rocker. Who,
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't really seen him cheese much, but you know he has that prepared.
Well, his thing is the cannon rush, which he does. That's why I was surprised he didn't even scout this game, because he normally fakes it even when he doesn't do it, just so that you always have to pull probes for it.
On the other hand, though, these guys have played each other so much by this point that he might not think it was even worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to defend as Terran, so maybe against Kozan it just never works.
Widowmine drop in the main, Rocker not responding.
Oh my
Ooh,
god,
9
9
probes.
probes.
And the mines get out. I'm not sure what his attention was on. Did the Reaper go back in at that time?
I think he was looking for the Reaper. He might have killed it too. Yeah, he killed the Reaper, but at what cost?
Yeah. I mean, we see the danger of this build from Kozan. Even though it's a Widowmine drop, which every Protoss is prepared for, it's coming 30 seconds faster. So their eyes aren't glued to the minimap the way they normally are. But Rocker also, I'm not sure why, I guess it's just a mistake, didn't start chronoing Blink until just now. So he wouldn't even have had Blink for a regular time Widow Mine drop.
I always find it a little weird when Protosses aren't prepared for the most common aggression early game from Terran, but I guess, like you said, the timing was weird, so...
So double Forge coming out of Rocker. That's going to slow down his tech progression, but basically it lets him just mass units, probably going to go up to 10 gateways pretty quickly. Usually we see this accompanied by like a 6-7 minute fourth nexus, and they just kind of dare Terran to do something about it as they flood them with gateway units. Although armor not started yet. From Kozan we have, at this point, Cookie Cutter Standard, transitioning from that 1-1-1 opening into a 3-Rex stim timing. Normally that moves out at 6:30, but I don't think it can hit. I think it'll be a little later. Oh, the Raven was harassing the 3rd.
It's about to die.
Yeah, but it prompted a recall.
Well, like
the
he'll keep
Raven
it
lives.
alive. That's helpful, although one stalker can keep that from leaving.
So Kozan is moving out at 6:30, but Stim and combat shields are still a ways out. Same with +1. So I don't think he's going to be able to hit properly until like 7:15.
He's loading up medevacs.
Yeah, that's a very bold move.
Especially right in front of the stalkers. Well, I don't think he saw them yet. Oh, he's unloading. He's gonna trap the stalkers. This is a great move. Oh my god. That's so pro.
I mean, it was nice, but I almost wonder if it was better to actually commit to the main.
Yeah, he didn't end up getting that many stalkers.
Rocker's build is... I don't know, something's off. His gateways aren't done. And they should be done by like 6:30.
That's because he lost 9 probes to the Widow Mine drop.
Oh. You're right.
Something's just behind, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm used to thinking about Protoss as being invulnerable, you know?
Yeah. That's good setup by Kozan. I don't know if he knows about the south base.
The one that
No, he
he
does.
auto-turret harassed?
Oh yeah, he does know about that base.
There,
guess-
see? Now we're even. We've both made a serious blunder in our casting.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colossi going down. But I think Rocker will clean this up.
Yeah. So that's good unit.
Oh, armor is still not even half done. I think maybe Rocker's lucky to have held that.
Yeah, I think he probably had not enough gas or something when he hit it before and didn't notice. I do that all the time.
Yeah, it sucks. Man. I don't know if Rocker can hold this next wave. No battery at the 3rd. No splash. Doesn't have the double upgrade. Kozan's force isn't...
He's got 9 medevacs.
Yeah, it's a little excessive. I mean, his army's not that big, but every unit here is getting a personal heal.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocker able to hold it off. And Kozan just rallying across the map.
Kozan gonna be briefly up half an upgrade.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite of how I feel like you're supposed to play DPV. I thought you're supposed to avoid conflict at all costs and like multi-prong everywhere.
So, because he was able to snipe the Colossi, because since Rocker's gates were late, he didn't have a lot to protect the Colossi. Once the Colossi were down, and there's no sentries to mess up pathing with force fields, or to change the math with Guardian Shield, it's just Marine Marauder Medevac Mine versus Zealot Stalker. And the former wins that. with even upgrades. But Rocker has held on. He's got another pair of Colossi out. His +2 attack will finish soon. Kozan, his build has been immaculate so far, but his armory is a little late, so he's not able to start 2-2. So, at least in terms of upgrades, he is going to start to fall behind. Still has a pretty big supply lead, though.
Well, 3 Vikings at a time now to deal with the Colossus. I thought he split out a... oh, there it is. He split out a mine drop coming in the south.
The cannons just started there.
I think Rocker sees it. That is a lot of probes to go down again.
Kozan moving out. His Vikings aren't concentrated, so these Colossi do pose a threat right now.
Well, Kozan's catching this 4th base. I think he... oh, it's cancelled.
That was a clutch cancel, and I think that was the right move. Painful, but... I mean, he doesn't have the probes to saturate it anyway.
Yeah.
5 more going down. Oh
Rocker's
no,
got great map vision.
So both of his mines... or sorry, both of his obs were... oh, never mind, the cannon finished. Two just finished for Rocker. This is a strong timing for him. Almost an anti-timing by Terran.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kozan
Rocker...
not really committing though, he's just picking off zealots and running.
Yeah, I guess no more mines coming out. What I was talking about earlier is Rocker has 2 obs and they're both sieged. So if he's trying to pull them to deal with mines, they won't move. But Kozan lifted the factory off the reactor to give it to the 2nd starport. So there are no more mines.
I always want mines to deal with charge lots, even later in the game. I'm surprised he's stopping completely.
Yeah, even if I want to give the reactor to a 2nd starport, when I land the factory, I definitely have it make a new reactor. I think having, you know, at least a pair of Widow Mines on every planetary is about the only way you can deal with a massive DT blink.
Oh, there's a bunch of Vikings here. We do have ghosts in the army too. And those Colossus are the only splash that Rocker has. So I think this is a pretty good army for Kozan here. Except for his 2-2 are just about to finish. There we go. Good timing. And Kozan just pushing through. Maybe having 1,000 medevacs is the secret. Splash doesn't matter if it gets healed up right away.
Well, Rocker took just as much blast from the EMP. They were both really bottled up.
Yeah. Well, Kozan going up 1-0.
Yeah, strong play by both sides, but almost wonder how that game would look if Kozan didn't get quite so much damage done with that initial mine drop.
Alright, well this is actually a best of 7, not a best of 5.
That's what I thought. Rocker likes to have epic finals.
Yeah.
Do you remember the plan for the first power ranking tournament was the finals, at least the grand finals, were going to be best of 9?
Yeah.
I think Maple's like, absolutely not.
Speaking of Maples, he says losing 9 probes is almost GG if Terran's macking properly. Yeah. That was probably the biggest issue of that game.
Yeah, I mean, losing 9 probes and the medevac got away to get to drop again. Like, and the mines.
Yeah.
Like, if it's like 4 mines and the medevac dies and you get 14 probes and all the mines die, it's like, okay, well that's it's not a great trade, but it is a trade. But just he got 9 for absolutely nothing.
Just playing with a handicapped at that point. Well, second map's gonna be altitude. And we're into game 2, top right. Green Terran player, Kozan.
In the bottom left, the blue Protoss. He's down 0-0. Can he even things up? Rocker.
Well, he's back to his pylon scouting ways.
It's a gateway.
Kozan
So-
doesn't know that. This is a decent cannon rushing map. I think you can reach one of the gases from the low ground even.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but gas isn't that important when dealing with cannon rush.
Yeah.
So, did they pick, as far as you know, the whole map rotation ahead of time? Or is it loser picks?
I think they picked it ahead of time.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is though.
Yeah, one thing I like to think about is when you're in a long series, like whether you have to pick the maps or you're kind of anticipating, like, okay, I know this map's first. If I win, if it's loser picks, what map's going to come out? If I lose and I pick, what map is it going to be? Or if you get the full rotation, just kind of planning out, I'm going to do this on that map, or if I lose, I'll do this instead, kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah, I love series in this game. It's way more interesting than just playing one map.
Yeah, that's why ladder sucks.
It's fun when you hit the same guy again and again.
In ladder,
Okay.
they usually still do the same thing.
Oh, I'd never do the same build if I hit the same guy.
Sometimes I think it's worth doing the same build and then using a different approach.
Hmm.
Like, let's say you're fighting a Protoss and you do like a Widowmine drop into a Raven stim timing. And in the first game, you commit everything to his third. Then if you get him again the next game, at the same timing, you can threaten with your units, but then, use the Widowmines you have for a Widowmine drop and the Raven to auto-harass in a separate spot and just hard multi-prong from the get-go instead of committing at third. Because then you kind of get in their head. They're locked into thinking, oh, it's the same build, therefore he's going to play it the same way. And so
Yeah.
you can throw them off by changing the tactics instead of the build. Oh, I just realized. So, Kozan's playing... Well, actually, we got unusual things on both sides. So Kozan went Marine Expand, not Reaper Expand, for a faster gas, and then quickly put the factory on the reactor that the barracks had. He's got a pair of Hellions out, they can scout, they can do a run by, etc. Meanwhile, he's got the reactor Widowmine production to set up the Widowmine drop for the multi-prong. Rocker went for an incredibly fast third Nexus. It must have been like 245 third Nexus.
It's done before it's normally started.
He's going charge and armor. So no blink, no splash tech yet. He's getting the cannon, the main, and the nat. Will those? I think they'll just finish in time for this harass coming in. So Rocker is more prepared in the natural. Medevac boost in the main.
I feel like those 2 cannons are just gonna shut this down. 3 probes down.
So 1 Widow Mine still in the main, to the right of that assimilator. But so Rocker only takes 3 probe kills, kills half the Widow Mines and the Hellions. So a huge improvement for him compared to the previous game. But Kozan's still switching things up. He's doing what Water likes to do, which I think is awful, which is, this reactor factory production into Cloak Banshee. And, I mean, Oh, 2 more probes go down. That mine snuck back in. Okay, 4th mine cleaned up. So 5 probes go down in total. I think Rocker's very happy with how that went overall.
Especially with the 4-minute third base.
Yeah.
It's already saturated.
He got into 2nd forge too, so it looks like he wants to go for the same style he tried to do last game. So, yeah, so I don't like this Cloak Banshee follow-up. Like, I guess it's okay, because Protoss doesn't have Blink yet. But I don't think he knew that when he committed to the build in Cloak. And he does know that there's cannons. So, it's not that he can't get anything done with these Banshees, but I think that the money spent on 2 Banshees in Cloak would have been better spent on literally anything else in the game.
I find when I do 2 Banshees, though, I usually get a bunch of probe kills. But you do need a lot to make it worth it.
He's got 11 probes, so I guess he got a lot.
Especially when the Protoss makes batteries in both mineral lines, because I feel like they kind of just think it's safe at that point, and they're just watching for mine drops.
Well, I've been forced to eat my words.
I mean, Rocker just wasn't prepared because they're so bad. Nobody would ever do that, you know?
Something like that. So...
But I like that there's still a threat in the dead space, too. They can just kind of sit there and come back in when Kozan pushes.
I love it when you push units into other units with a hallucination. Okay, so Rocker has a huge gateway explosion going on now, going up to 13 gates, maybe more. But they're not done yet, and Kozan's crossing the map. It's a pretty late timing, because he went for a much faster 3rd CC than before. But he has 1-1, and he's got stim and combat shields. Well, he's taken the wrong way, though. If he at least
he's going to the main.
Yeah, but his Banshees are in the main, so he's kind of drawing Rocker's attention to the place he's going.
I guess he's just going up the natural ramp. Not sure why Kozan's supply is so much higher at this point. I guess because of the Banshee damage. But, I mean, it seems like Kozan just has too much. The only thing going for Rocker is he's got an upgrade lead still. And
Well,
it looks like
Rocker
that did make a
lives.
pretty big difference. Yeah, clean it up.
But now, wave 2, and I'm not sure if Rocker holds this one.
I think the upgrade lead is a really big deal with Zealots, but yeah, there's so much Terran here. all the stalkers will fall. Kozan now up double supply. I think that's going to be it. Rocker's just trickling in units at this point.
GG.
So Kozan starting this series out 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, very well played by Kozan. And I don't want to be too critical of Rocker. Of course, he's a very strong Protoss player, and he's deservedly made it to the upper bracket finals here. But I can't help but see kind of a pattern in these two games at least, where he's maybe too obsessed with probe production. I know that might sound funny because he's losing probes and wants to remake them, but it's a typical concept in Protoss vs. Terran to cut probe production at a certain point, and that certain point is somewhere between 60 and 80 supply. I would say mineral saturation at 3 bases and gas saturation on 2 is probably the latest point you want to make this cut. But typically you make a probe production cut to get your gateway started, and then you resume production. That way the gates are actually done in time to warp in to use the money that you get from having made those probes. But he's going all out on probe production, trickling in gateways as Terran's crossing the map, and then the gates aren't done to get the warp in before Terran arrives, then he loses the money to the attack and then can't maintain the warp ins. And on top of that, both games also, he's gone for this 2-forge setup, tried to go mass gateway, and then also went into this Colossus transition. So again, he's spending the money that needs to go into a big warp in to keep him alive on this tech transition, and it's just really ill-timed. We'll see if he can make some adjustments here.
Yeah. See if he can not lose 14 probes again. But that's interesting. I didn't know that you're supposed to cut probes as Protoss to get the gateways.
In the bottom right, the green Terran, he's up 2-0. It's Kozan.
Forgot intros. In the top left, down 0-2, it's the blue Protoss player Rocker.
Yeah, I mean, all props to Kozan, just kind of forcing damage in, even though Rocker defended. Rocker had a really interesting build. Like, his opening was really interesting last game, and it seemed perfectly crafted to just shut down a Widowmine drop. The problem was, Kozan went for this really unorthodox Para-Cloaked Banshee follow-up, and even with cannons done, he got so many more probes.
Kozan's got 2 barracks right now. I think he's gonna block the scout. It's gonna be Reaper?
I almost wonder if it's just non-proxied concussive.
Yeah, he's only got 1 gas.
Well, with 1 gas he can make 3 Reapers, and he can start a 2nd gas and then be able to afford more. Like, you only need the 2nd gas immediately with a Reaper build if you also want the factory. So like, he can start this 3rd Reaper and then start his gas if he wants. But I think he's just going to do a 3 Reaper poke and then make his CC. So this is like the time build in T vs T, his that he used versus Maru, I don't know, forever ago. But it was like an anti-proxy Reaper build. Of course, this is versus Protoss, so that's not the concern. It's just be annoying in an unorthodox way.
The Rocker already starting a shield battery in the main, probably just because he couldn't scout what was happening.
Yeah, definitely a smart move. Oh, he's crossing with the Stalker. See, the battery might be giving him a false sense of security. He uses the battery to safely scout the Stalker, but in this case, he needs the battery and the Stalker.
I sees the first Reaper. He didn't see the other two.
Oh, the Stalker just came out and home.
Well, Reaper's coming in. Kozan going right for the probes in the natural. Looks like at least 3 will fall here. You can't really do anything next to that battery, though.
Are you sure?
Battery's pretty good.
I think if he didn't mess up his focus fire, he might have been able to get another probe.
Yeah, good opening by Rocker, though. It shut this down pretty hard. Although getting, 4 probes isn't terrible, but I don't think that pays for the second Rex. And the delayed factory.
Well, it's less about second racks or the factory timing so much as the CC timing. Second orbital is much later.
True.
Like, you're already going to make a second barracks at some point, so getting it a little earlier doesn't really... It's not something you feel like you have to pay for. So pretty standard stuff coming out from Rocker. We've got 3-gate, Blink not being chronoed again, Robo on the way. No third Nexus, but also no third gas, so I don't think we're going to see... Oh. Nope, there's the 4th gate. So expecting to see a third gas soon, and some committed Blink pressure.
Well, Reaper's coming in getting a few more probes.
So six probe kills in total. You know, at first I didn't think that it had been worth. By this point, I think he's probably pretty happy with 6 kills. Kozan again, forcing damage where I wouldn't expect it to be possible.
Yeah, he also got a full scout on the 4-gate Blink.
That's right.
Oh, see how
so
he responds.
No third gas, and he sent a probe to the third base, so he just wants to get like a big bunch of stalkers and then transition out from there. So it's not an all-in. He just can be annoying.
Is Kozan even... Oh, he has a tank on the high ground, okay. This is such a big main, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like Rocker could have just ignored the tank and gone to the workers, but... chooses to engage it and get out.
Well, I liked that he got the tank, but I think he blinked maybe a little too far forward. Like, he just needs to be close enough that all the stalkers are in range of the tank, because he had 7 stalkers, and that was enough to 2-volley the tank. But then, yeah, you want to be able to back up after that. But he was so close that he was getting shot by everything in turn.
Well, Rocker may not be all-inning, but Kozan is. With
Yeah.
2 racks going down.
Kozan definitely showing that he's comfortable with a wide arsenal of builds.
Yeah, this is what Silver Knight was doing to, what match was it? I think against Goblin? Although when Silver Knight did it, I think he made tanks with it, not 9s.
Yeah, Koda's talked about this before. He likes the mines with the 5 racks. He says when he plays it like a mini game, where the objective is to just through multi-prong end up eventually with mines between Protoss's natural and third, and then just kind of abuse the fact that Protoss can't really go back and forth anymore. Army value's even, but Terran has the upgrade lead, and no splash from Rocker.
Yeah, Kozan just going right in the main. Colossus not even half done. That Robo's gonna get killed, I think.
Yeah, Rocker's doing this double Forge and Colossus same time thing again.
Well, both Immortals drop instantly. Kozan gets out.
Oh, didn't quite get that medevac.
Close. But yeah, it's just sniping the Robo. No Colossus coming out ever now. There's 2 mines on the third base as well, although they only got 2.
I'm surprised Rocker's trading so well without an upgrade.
Yeah, though he just lost all of his zealots for free.
So, Rocker is aware of those mines. He's forced off mining and is getting a cannon to deal with it. Yeah, Rocker has still just 4 gates.
I think there's just too much bio here again. Kozan once again muscling through, although this time it was supposed to be an all-in, so
Yeah.
slightly less surprising this time. But GG, Kozan going up 3-0. So Rocker's on his last life now.
I wonder what Rocker had scouted. Did he ever get a confirmation on the 5 racks? Because I know he had stalkers in there. Did you notice what was in his vision?
No, I don't. I think the stalkers left before the 4th and 5th racks came down, and I don't think he went in. But he did have an obs in the natural, so he might have checked at some point. But yeah, I didn't see what he saw right before that.
I'm not even sure what's supposed to be done differently there. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I suppose the same patterns there. Rocker's on 4 gates and 2 forge and getting a Colossus. I think he needs to pick something. You know, if he's getting this, if he wants the Colossus to deal with like waves of bio, then it's okay to maybe stay on a lower gate count, but get the Colossus out sooner. Maybe even go Robo Bay before the upgrades.
Yeah. Guess I'm not familiar enough with Protoss to know what you can afford when. I just know like what the standard builds are. Even then, I don't really know what the standard builds are. Alright, in the top left-hand corner, he's down to his last life. It's the blue Protoss player, Rocker.
In the bottom right, the green Terran, he's taken it to match point. Can he finish it? It's Kozan.
Kozan has looked super solid this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing great things. I just still kind of want to see how did these two like fight later in the game, you know?
Yeah, it's always been decided pretty early. But we're back to standard opening from Kozan.
And nothing crazy out of Rocker either. Oh, so we have the second guess coming out of Kozan. So this resembles more his game 1 build, where he went for a 2-gas expand into a 30-second faster than normal Widowmine drop, which got terrible damage done.
Yeah, it was the game with 9 probes dead at 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Rocker knows it's 2 gas. You know, interestingly, Kozan could have walled the ramp on this position, since he can put the barracks in the wall, doesn't need to leave a gap for the add-on. He could have denied scouting altogether. You can just 16 gas, 17 gas, 18 depot on the ramp, just rallying those SCVs out, and it blocks this gateway scout timing. Well, he's playing it exactly the same as he did in Game 1. I thought maybe there was a mind game where in Game 1, if I remember correctly, Rocker didn't scout it, or he scouted it late and didn't see much. And this time, I thought maybe Kozan lets him scout it and then locks the probe out after showing him 2 gas. Oh, I missed the Zealot. The Zealot is so annoying. I used to look down on this. Now I realize it's actually ferocious. It can be so annoying.
Yeah, if your Reaper's across the map, you kind of just have to delay the CC for a while.
So he does lose both the Adept and the Zealot. I don't think he's happy about that, but at least he scouts... We scouts 2 Reaper Hellion. There's a 3rd Reaper out now. The 2 Reaper, 1 Hellion is a normal way to do this build. The 3rd Reaper is unusual. But this amount can definitely one-shot a probe. And I think maybe the idea of the 3rd one is, once he loses 1 Reaper, he's still one-shotting probes.
Yeah, with just the 2 Adepts, he's even just fighting the Adepts straight up. I think he wasn't supposed to lose that Reaper, though.
So, very fast 3-gate from Rocker. He's got a Twilight coming, but it's not done, so his tech's very behind. And he's floating so much gas. I mean, I guess he's floating the gas because he lost mineral income because he had to pull so much. But I'm not... Oh, DT, okay. It's quite a late Dark Shrine. It almost reminds me of Patience. Patience used to have a deliberately late DT drop timing. I think he did it DTs after Blink. And the idea was to kind of mess with Terran right before they want to push, to encourage them not to push. And then he would do that into a 2 Robo Colossus build. And just like rush out 4 Colossi and then only make Stalkers. It was a really interesting style, and he consistently played like that. Just going for this death ball approach.
I think Rocker's doing the cheeky approach. Does he have a Robo? No, no Robo. So I guess he's just gonna warp in at the bottom right there and just send him into the natural, but Kozan's got almost a full wall here. Kozan hasn't seen anything, by the way. He fought the Adepts with the Reapers, which I guess could have turned out good for him, but then as a result, he never got a look in the main.
Yeah, and I mean, resources lost on paper favors Terran, but he didn't kill any probes. Or sorry, he killed 2 probes. That's not enough to lose those early units. So he sees that the 3rd base is slow, so that should clue him in that something's going on.
Yeah.
He's got 1 scan. Nope, he just dropped it.
Oh no.
Dark Shrine's done. Rocker's warping and Zealots at home.
Yeah, no DTs.
He thinks the push is coming. Oh, so he's got the Stalkers in front. They're going to see Kozan's move out. Well, they're going to die, but they see the move out. Yep, now the DTs are warping in to go right behind the push.
Yeah, it's good timing, but I just feel like Rocker doesn't have any units at home. How does he stop this push?
With DTs.
Yeah, I guess.
Although he's not making them.
Well, Kozan sees it right away, just pulls all the SCVs. Started a turret, but
There's no battery in the net. I think Rocker dies. Why didn't he make a DT here?
he still could. He's engaging into the tanks. And
Zealot Warpins.
he had the gas for GTs. But the DTs would actually save him. There's only one scan. He just has to send in one at a time. Well. Well, Rocker might just barely survive here, and he is way economically ahead now. There's still a DT hammering on things in the main base.
For a second, I thought that third Nexus was gonna get sniped. Oh, it's so sad to see Dark Templar not be able to kill Marines.
Yeah, the armor upgrade.
Well, 10 worker lead to Rocker, but he's not able to fully use it because of saturation problems. So it's really only a slight income lead right now. Actually, with
His third will
Mules
be up
tearing,
shortly.
yeah.
And Kozan doesn't have a third.
Army value does favor Terran though.
Yeah.
Okay, battery coming up in the natural and third. Let's see. Rocker getting a Colossus, getting range. Just working on one upgrade at a time. Almost done with +2. Terran's coming. Rocker sees him. Defenses aren't quite done.
I mean, there's two batteries here. There really isn't anything for Rocker though. There is a Colossus coming out in just a second, but I think this is gonna be over by then. And yeah, this third's going down once again. That's gonna kill Rocker's only advantage, and he still has half the army supply.
I mean, even now, if he just sends in one DT at a time, he can burn scans until Terran can't deal with the DTs. I don't know if he's panicking. You know, there must be a lot of pressure on him. Down 0-3, Kozan playing so strong, but he's just every warp-in just zealot, 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 zealot.
Well, Kozan's saving scans. I think he has 3 right now. So I don't even know if Rocker has the gas to run him out of scans.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, Rocker's trying to hang on, but he is out of units in front of his Colossus.
I mean, I will say, Rocker's units do way better versus Terran units than mine do. There's a single DT. Might be a little late for that though. So Terran just now finishing his third, but Rocker's trapped on 2 base, and most of his minerals are gone. Terran with a pretty overwhelming army value lead.
Yeah, almost double. And Kozan adding in some Vikings for this Colossus. Once again, going for Rocker's third base. And the DT that went across is still alive, but it did get pushed back.
Kozan still has one scan in the pocket.
Yeah, he's been pretty diligent about not dropping mules. Like, good force fields is... I mean, there are 3 Colossus. Melting the bio in the back. The Vikings will clean him up, but... I think that was a decent fight for Rocker. Maybe as good as he could have hoped for. But still, so many Marauders left.
Oh, there's no blink yet. GG.
Well, Kozan taking the finals of the upper bracket 4-0. Did not see that coming.
Well, I suppose as a Terran player I was rooting for Kozan, but I would have liked to have seen a longer series. But very well played by Kozan.
Yeah. So bringing up the bracket. So we just watched this top match. So now we have Rocker versus Maples. I don't know if we're doing that tonight or tomorrow though. Actually, Maples, are you still in the chat? Do you know, are we doing the lower bracket finals tonight or tomorrow?
I'm guessing that Rocker wants to rest after that.
Yeah. That's a pretty long series. Alright guys, well... Oh wait, Scrubble says do lower if you can.
Yeah, but just because Scrubble says that doesn't mean Rocker wants to.
Oh, Rocker's searching 1v1. Probably answers the question. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it there. We'll be back on if we are gonna do it later, but I'm guessing no.
Make sure to host someone.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. Let's see who's on.
Okay, Jake from State Farm, I really want that personal price plan.
Let's see.
Nina's streaming.
Yeah, that works. We'll host Nina. Alright guys, we're gonna raid Nina. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.
problem. Thanks for having me. I like the part